over the winter.
Was
And
there?
yeah, you got like a bunch of snowballs. It was really fun. Yes. Okay. Like a whole new thing that I thank you for
Today,
being.
like the first day of the season.
Yeah. I'm like
Uh,
the first, cause mine is on Monday, so I'm like the
oh, okay.
first of the first.
Ooh, fun. No pressure. No
I
pressure.
know. No pressure at all. Oh, I hope I don't have like a. I was just playing this the other day, so hopefully there's not like a big update. So I figure we'll just play maybe a round or two, and
Sure.
chat casually, and then I'll do like a more like formal like introduction to the topic.
Yeah,
Um,
no worries.
the goal is to hopefully have, bring in some younger viewers by playing these
Yeah,
games.
right. Absolutely. Yeah, because a lot of people think like I'm just graduating out of high school and I don't have any skills, and that's not true. You do have skills.
Yeah, that's exciting. I think, yeah, kids really feel that way. I mean, well, we're made to believe it, that you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, it's like I don't have anything. Like, of course you do. You just graduated high school. You have your high school diploma for one. That's your hard skill there. And then, like, I don't know about other states, but here you have to volunteer
Oh, in
in
high
order to
school?
graduate. Yeah. So you get like volunteer experience. So
Yeah, that's nice. I think my school had things like that, but they weren't. It was really hard to make those kinds of things mandatory because my high school had a 60% graduation rate. So like the more things that you added to make it so that people had to graduate, like the harder it was. Like people just didn't, like they didn't care. I mean, not that they didn't care, it's just that it was really hard in
right.
my town. A lot of
That's
lack of
fair.
resources.
Yeah, that's also a big thing too. If the income taxes are low or property taxes are low,
Yep.
then the resources are low too.
Yep, that's how it is here in Philly. Okay, so I'm in the game. Let me invite you. Oh, I don't know if we're friends.
I am friends with Sam.
Oh, but you're in the crew, so I'm gonna add you as my friend
Yeah.
and invite me to invite group. Okay.
All right. Let me try to figure out how to do this again. Okay. It's been a minute.
we go.
All right.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Highly Sensitive Unicorn, and welcome to Mentorship Monday. Hashtag not another generation. I am going to be games. Look, this is Lou Dog. Hey, what's up? Oh, cool, red mohawk. Nice.
Yeah.
I've got guest Lou Dog with me. You can't see him because not on screen at the moment, but he will be when we do our interview. So today's I guess I could do a little intro about what Mentorship Monday is going to be, since this is the first
That's the first one. Yeah.
one. This is the new season of Gamer for Peace content. We're kind of doing things in seasons. So we took a break for the holidays, but now we are back with some interesting content this week. We've got Mentorship Mondays, which is what I'm doing here. We're going to be talking about. I got you. We're going to be talking about a lot of times people join the military because they feel like it's their only option. And in our country, it really is for a lot of people in order to get like resources like healthcare or like even education, for example. It's really expensive to go to college. And the military just, presents these really pretty packages of how you'll be able to get healthcare or education or, um, ways out of poverty that maybe seem very appealing, um, which, it is. But so I think a lot of times it's really easy for people who don't know that there are other resources out there or that there are other options. And so that's what we're going to try to do with this segment. We're going to try to show you that, there are things that you can do besides joining the military. And we have a lot of veterans on this segment who are going to tell us about like their experiences in the military and how coming out there wasn't really as many resources as you would expect, or it's still very difficult
True.
to get the resources, right, Lou?
Yeah. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So and the military does a bunch of really terrible things. So we would rather you all find different things to do with your time if you can, and we're going to try to highlight some of the things you can do. But before we get to that part, we're going to play a couple rounds of this game to get us like warmed up. Is that cool, Lou?
That works for me.
All
Yeah.
right,
Why not?
cool. Let's see, what should we play? We won't do league play because I'm terrible. So
I haven't played since the last Mental Health Monday, so
Oh wow. Okay.
that was a while ago. So yeah.
I wish the snowball game was still here because that one's really fun. But so let's see. We could play just a regular 3v3, or do you want to play? What is that? Ball up. Oh, that one sounds like that'll be too hard. There's a mode called Ball Up Brawl, which means there's no balls on the map. You just have to be a ball with your teammates.
Oh yeah.
They don't have a 2v2 one right now, so it'll be us and
us and
whoever
somebody else.
joins us. Oh, still matching? Okay. Yeah, so right before we got on stream, we were talking about the holidays. Oh, did I knock you off the edge?
That's fine. The joys of regeneration powers.
This game is funny when you get knocked out. The ragdoll look is really funny.
Woo.
Okay.
Cage ball. All right.
I hate the cage ball. I like our teammate though. Their look matches our look.
Yeah.
Oh. Here, do you want to throw him? Oh, They tossed me the ball and I lost it.
No.
No! Oh no, I'm in a cage.
Dang it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Somehow I did not die. Oh, oh. They keep trying to throw me off the edge and I keep surviving somehow. It's great.
You can do it. You can do it.
How are you doing? I'm coming.
I died once already, but it's okay. It's all right. It's just practice.
I know. I love this game because the it feels like low stress about winning.
Yeah. Zero pressure.
Are you a very competitive gamer?
Not really. No, I just do it nonchalantly.
Yeah, same.
No.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Oh no.
Oh shoot.
Okay.
No. Team's aggressive.
It is.
Oh.
Ah, no.
No. I'm terrible at catching.
Same. Yeah. I could throw really well. Is this catching? Nah.
Oh, thanks, Sin, for putting that in chat. Um. Oh no. It's
Uh
okay.
practice round.
Do you play other games often?
Not recently, no. I've been so busy, but yeah, I do play like other ones like
Oops.
dang it. Mostly plays like MLB and like
Oh,
sports game.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what my brothers play too. They like the sports games. Come on, throw me.
This is so strange having a teenager now.
Teenager. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Must be kind of fun though. I think, right? Like once they get like old enough to like talk about like, real things. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that he advocates for himself, which is really great. Most teenagers don't, so that's wonderful. Like he was even like, yeah, I need a 504 meeting, and I'm like, oh shit, like really?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
at
That's
least he's advocating for himself at school, and like that's cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think maybe maybe that would be a good topic to explore too on this segment. along with being like a first generation college student, there are so many
Yeah.
things like that. Do you want to play another match before we
Yeah,
get
why not?
serious?
Let's play
Okay.
another. Yeah.
Um, yeah, like not only did I not know anything about like how to apply to college and like uh, financial aid and all that stuff, like I didn't know anything about the resources that like my school had. Like I didn't know what a 504 plan was like
Right.
when I was in school, or that I had access to like these types of
And
resources.
IEPs or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's great. I feel like yeah, definitely teenagers now have a greater understanding of like what's like, thank goodness for the internet, right? Like like because like they
Indeed.
know, right? Like there's no like hiding it from them now. They know how to use the internet, and they know how to find the things that they need. Um Sometimes. I mean some
Sometimes.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of teenagers out there that don't want to or feel weird asking,
Mhm.
but thankfully mine is just like I don't have a problem with asking for help. And I'm like, cool. Like that was always my problem when I was growing up. I had problems with asking for help. So
Yeah. Did you have like family supports that were able to like
not
ask?
really. I
Yeah.
mean, because I was a latchkey kid, so my parents were always working. So
Oh yeah.
there was really no support anywhere.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, same. I remember like as a kid, so I had a single parent home. I remember like signing all of my own permission slips and stuff. Like
yeah,
my mom knew
yeah,
that was happening. It's just that she was like, just sign whatever, like do whatever you need to do, like to make sure you
right.
get the things, because like she was working all the time and
Like, hey, I need you to sign this. Just sign it. It's
yeah,
fine.
like
And I'm
just
like,
sign
all
it.
right.
I trust you. You're fine. Just go on the field trip.
Yeah. I'm like, cool.
Oh, this is the
Thanks.
alien level. You can ride on these spaceships.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so like you didn't have like other people like telling you how to get
No, there was
resources.
like even the school counselors back in the day were not
Oh yeah.
that good.
Oh,
So it's
definitely.
like, you know, it, I'm glad like schools have progressed and now they're like, oh, okay, like these things are necessary. Like, yeah, you think?
Yeah. I remember my advisor in high school. So, I'm kind of a smarty pants. Like I was like kind of like a goody two shoes in high school.
Right.
I was like a really good student. I was like, I'm gonna get out of poverty by like being a good student. Uh, and so like I was like a teacher's pet. But anyway, so I graduated third in class, and I was
Ah,
like, oh, this is great. Like I'm gonna go to like a really good school because I'm so smart. My advisor, or whatever it's called in high school, what are they called? Guidance counselors. My
right.
guidance counselor was like, you're probably, given your family's financial status and like, this community that you come from, like you're not going to be able to, oh, I fell off the edge. Like you're not going to be able to get into like an Ivy League school. You're not going to be able to go to a private school. Like you should just apply to community college and state school.
Local community college and call it a day. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, like this is like not even my own guidance counselor. Like I was the third in class, like I didn't get
Right.
valedictorian or salutatorian, but she was like, yeah, like you don't even try.
Which,
I was
which
like,
requires
what?
like phenomenal GPA. Like
It was just interesting that like not even like,
uh,
and that's sort of like how a lot of guidance counselors were in my school. They were just kind of like, no, kids from this high school don't really go anywhere, so just
right.
cut your losses.
Like even like where I live, like the streets are named after prestigious schools, but none of us go to them.
Oh yeah.
So
Like Berkeley or is
yeah,
that
like
yeah.
Stanford Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that like, so like I guess one of the like goals that I have with this program is like to show students and other people, um that like, I mean, it's hard work. Like it was hard like learning how to I keep falling off this ditch over here. It's hard. It was hard to do all of this on my own. Like I went to college. I didn't go to a community college. I went to a private school, private liberal arts college.
Oh
Yay.
wow.
And
Hey, we won.
I know. I mean, I've been talking the whole time, so I don't know how that happened. uh like but I did it and it was tough and I would have loved to have like people along the way like telling me like
Right.
here's some tips to make it a little bit easier for you. So I'm
Like
hoping
these are all things possible that you could do.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do that instead of being like the Debbie Downer my guidance counselor was saying that
Right. Like
I'm
all things
doomed.
are possible. You just got to make them
I
possible.
am oh this I am every single point that the other team has gotten is from me falling off the edge.
Yeah.
So you're getting your master's now?
I'm currently in school for my bachelor's.
Okay.
My partner's getting ready to go for her master's,
Okay. What is
and
she getting her master's in? Or hope?
commutative disorders. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh
So
yeah, speech
yeah,
therapist, right?
yeah, she's going to be a speech language pathologist, or
Okay.
she's looking between speech language pathologist or audiologist, which
Okay.
because she took an audiology class and she's like, I really love audiology. I'm like, do whatever you want. Like, you can do it.
Yeah. I think I've changed my like like career interests like I don't know, every 2 years.
Oh, I
I'm
have
always
to.
like wanting to do
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. Like COVID kind of messed me up because I do have a degree in hospitality management.
Oh,
And
okay.
since COVID like destroyed my industry, I was like,
Oh,
let me just go
yeah.
back and learn more about HR since I do love employment law. So I'm like, why not? So yeah, I just went back to school.
Nice. So it's like you're getting another degree in something else, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's what I did. Well, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I actually just I'm in the middle of a doctoral program, but I think
nice.
I'm taking a break from it because I'm not sure I really like the field anymore.
Um,
So I'm applying to some other programs, and if I get into them, then I'm going to transfer
oh,
out of
okay.
that program. Um, but it's like a completely different field. Ah,
Especially right now with the way that the job fields are going, it's right now is a perfect time to change.
yeah. I mean, I think it's really great that people are advocating for themselves more in the workplace.
Yeah, exactly. I read so much like HR news that it's like everybody's like, oh, like, is this a problem for us? And I'm like, no, it's definitely not a problem for us. Like, there's so many people out there that are are hungry for another career. Like, we
Yeah,
should offer it to them.
yeah. I was listening to a segment on NPR about uh, just like people or about like they were like interviewing employers so like about like what are you doing to like retain your employees like right now and they were just like talking about like
Right.
we've had to start paying them more and we've had to start offering like more time off and like more flexible schedules
Yeah.
and I'm like yeah yes
Yeah.
do those things like it's not a bad thing like
That's not a bad thing at all. Like, oh my God, you just decided like you're not getting your $1 billion paycheck that you're getting. Oh no. Like, and increasing the benefits for your own employees so they could live better. That's great.
uh yeah, I mean, like, quality of life increases, productivity is more efficient,
Right.
like, it's all around just better.
We've even learned through this pandemic that the productivity level of people
Sorry.
staying home are way higher than people that are on anywhere else. So it's like we should really look into this whole staying at home thing.
Yeah. I mean, it has not been fun for me to be home in isolation. Like like if we weren't in a pandemic and working from home, like that would be ideal, right? Like cuz
Yeah, for
but
sure.
like
Like, I
working
mean,
from
obviously
home
the underlying
alone.
situations, yeah.
But
But
yeah,
I mean,
it
people have been more productive at home than they have
absolutely.
been inside the office. So, and like, that's something to definitely look at statistics for.
Yeah. Yes. My teammate got him. How are you doing? Are you in a fight?
No, I'm coming over to the battle right now.
I've fallen off the edge so many times on this map.
It's all right.
There's like a training for this map to like tell you how to not fall off the edge. I should probably do it more.
Ah, no.
Oh.
Okay.
Ah! Hi, metagame gate. Matt. We're gonna start our interview with Lou Dog after this match. We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
You will.
I'm gonna get hit right now and oh no, I fell off the edge and now we
Oh
lost.
no.
Okay.
Oh, bummer. Oh, okay. Whatever.
My character is so angry that we lost.
Yeah,
So a little. Cancel
it's
this.
okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I am really a good at losing.
The
Um
more experience we get, the better we get.
I've had a lifetime experience of losing. Um
Me too.
I I was in high school because, you know, I was so ready to like go to college, right? I did all the things that you're supposed to do to like get into college, right? So I was in all the clubs, I was in all the musical ensembles, and I played a varsity sport each season.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That's
No
perfect for your
Yeah.
more
resume.
war! No more
Oh, who's
war!
that?
No more
We
war!
got a sub or
No more.
somebody. I can't remember what the sound is if it's for a sub or a follow. Um
Yay, thank you.
yeah. But yeah, but I was terrible at sports. Like I played the sports, but like I was like I was always thing.
So teamwork and it showed, agility. So those are all good skills to have.
All right, you're gonna come on screen now. All right, everyone. This disembodied voice is now present. This is Lou Dog.
Hello, everybody.
um, yeah. So I was a swimmer. And I swam like all the distance things, and I always like came in last. So like everybody would like lap me, and I'd be like swimming in the pool like by myself like, for a while. I played softball, but I played in like the outfield, like where like the balls like never go. So
Right.
yeah, I'm good. I am familiar with losing. What I was saying.
Okay. It's not a problem. Like as you could turn those losing skills into regular skills. So that's good.
Yeah, that's a good segue. So, Ludog's here to talk about like a few like job readiness is like encompasses a whole thing. Like there's so many things you could
Does.
do to help prepare, like applying for jobs, getting ready for jobs, looking for jobs, and we could talk about that forever. But today,
True.
Lou's gonna talk about what are hard skills, what are soft skills, and like what are some like interviewing tips and stuff like that. Do you want to kind of introduce like kind of why we're asking you specifically to talk about these things? Like what makes you the reason we should talk to you about this?
Yeah, so thank you, Sim. I am trying to grow out a beard. I'm
Yeah.
on vacation, so it's just but yeah, like you're asking me because I do have some HR skills, and I work for the Orange County. Um, I work for the Orange County Veteran Resource Center. That I help out veterans change their resumes so they could change their military skills into into civilian skills so they could get employment. So those are some of the things that I do, and then I also sit down and go over their interviews and do like mock interviews so they could feel more confident going into the interview and um, doing all doing all of those processes, because it's difficult going in and like I have no idea how to interview. So just sit down and like just make sure you have the confidence and build the confidence, and then you'll be successful. So yeah.
Awesome. So like I had like an interview story. So like I said, I've been trying to sort of change my career around or add like more things instead of doing one thing. And I applied for a job recently and I was like so excited. I was like I haven't been excited to apply for a job in a while. And I got a job, like I got an interview request, but I wasn't expecting an interview request for like a while because like this posting said that, they were going to wait to do interviews till after a certain date kind of thing.
Right.
Uh, but then they called me with a job interview, and I had just shaved my head because I just got this head tattoo.
Right.
And I was like, crap, I have a very fresh bald head tattoo, and now I'm going to go to a job interview. um, I don't think that was the reason I didn't get the job, but
I hope not.
sadly I didn't get the job. But I like to think that I'm really good at doing interviews. But this was the first time that I've like interviewed for a job and didn't get a job offer, so it was like kind of a hit to my ego. So I'm gonna be listening in on see if there are things
Yeah,
I
I mean,
need
there's
to
so many
improve
people
on.
that I mean, there is so many people that do have like they'll get like 100 interviews and they'll only get one,
Mhm.
but it's still, like some people aren't. I think the concept of once you get into the interview, that means they already like you. So
Mhm.
like they saw your resume, they like you, and then you just have to prove to them that you're worthy of their time, I guess. So really just trying to transition from the trying to take your skills from your paper that you have that they have in front of them, and then they're meeting you as the person. So um, that's basically all the interview is. And then the second interviews are always a little bit easier, and then hopefully some people get third interviews. I don't know why, but they do third interviews too. But usually it's the first and second, and then you get hired. So
What are some recommendations you have for like first time like interviewers, right? Like so people who go to the military. So let me back up. Did you go to the military like right out of high school?
I didn't. I stayed out until I was 21, and then I joined the military at that point. But yeah, like after after high school, I just kind of did my own thing. I didn't want to join it. The military's always been in my family, so like my dad was in the military, my grandfather was in the military. I didn't want to join, and then it came down to the point where I was just completely poor and just like I wanted to have some job security. So the military was it. And then it just happened to be during a bad time in our U.S. history for me to go.
Mm.
But yeah, but it was okay. Like I didn't really mind being in the military until war happened, and then it was like, oh, now things are gotten crazy. But yeah, at least I had that. And then my father was always told me like, make sure you go and complain about everything so it's on your record. So
Did
like
your
at least I
dad work
had
in
something.
HR too?
No, like he was like he had such a hard time getting service connected. So he was
Mm-hmm.
make sure everything gets in your record. Like it doesn't matter. Like go in for a toenail. Like
Yeah.
who cares? Like just get all that done. And then that way it's easier for you when you get out and you can complain about this stuff and be like, yeah, these are all things that happened while I was in. And then it's like, oh, so that was to make it easier for a transition to becoming service connected. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
such an interesting thing. Like, so when we think about people joining the military because of like you, needed money, you needed job security, you needed
Right.
a place to live or healthcare, right? And it's like
Yeah.
it
Right.
sounds very appealing, but then like just hearing you talk for those few minutes, like when you leave the military, there's no guarantee that you're going to get support for what happened while you were in the military, whether
Nope.
that's physical
Yeah.
injuries or mental injuries or anything. So
Or
it
moral. Yeah.
sounds
So
really
yeah.
glamorous in the beginning,
Yeah.
but then, here you are like trying to fight to get those services. So
Right.
if we're already going to be like all of us are fighting for healthcare and services,
Right.
let's try not to join the military where you risk PTSD, moral injury, going against your values. And instead, we're going to listen to Lou Dog's advice about how to apply for
Yeah.
jobs, but you don't have to go through that. So, what are some advice you have for someone either like coming out of high school, or maybe they didn't finish high school, or coming home from the military, like who's never done like a job interview before, right? Because they just went straight into the military or something like that. What are
Right.
your first time job interview? Any suggestions?
First and foremost, go in calm. Like I know it sounds redundant, but go in just being calm. And I know like the stress is already there because you're like, oh my God, like I've never done this before.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes off better if you're calm. And then like within the questions that you get, like, oh, why are you applying? Why are you doing this? Or so on and so forth. Like these are all things that you could just pause. Like it's okay to pause and think about the question and then answer the question. Um, and then like those are all like simplistic things to
Mm-hmm.
do. To really like remind yourself like it's okay that I could take a deep breath. Like I don't need to rush this thing through, and then always ask questions later. So when the interviewer asks you if you have any questions, ask questions like what's the typical day like here? You know, what are some of my responsibilities going to be if I accept this position? What's your retention rate? It's perfectly fine to ask those questions because these are all things that you would know as far, like you don't want to go into a position either where they have a very low retention rate because they have shitty management.
Yeah.
So, these are all things that you want to know. So, like, you don't want to just accept the first job that comes around and be like, oh, well, and then you feel stuck being in that job because it's, like they have shitty management or shitty pay. And like the guy doing the same exact job that's across the street from you is getting paid way more and has a better life than you do. So,
Do you
which is
recommend
really
like
bad in our U.S. system, anyways.
yeah, it is. So would you recommend like just go like let's say you apply to a bunch of jobs and you don't necessarily want all of the jobs you apply for, but you get offered interviews. Do you recommend people like going to interviews even if they have no intention of like accepting the position, like for like practice or something like that?
That's a good question. I don't know because I always look at like especially if you're applying for a job and it's not like I always apply for a job that I want. So
Hmm.
um even when you look at the job announcement, always look at like if you have 80% of those skills, you're definitely going to be able to get an interview as well as probably get hired. So if you go into with that knowledge, then you'll be way more successful.
I feel like a lot of job postings like list like the golden wish list, right, of all the things that they would like in like the candidate.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that can be really intimidating. Like for me, like this job I applied to recently, there were some things like some skills and some experience on there that I was like, I definitely don't have those skills or that experience, but
Right.
I'm gonna apply anyway. But I feel like that can be really intimidating and like deter people from even like applying. Like if they're
That's
like,
true.
you
And
need to
then you
have
could even
this
look at
degree or this certification.
true. Like or like most job listings have like you need this degree or X amount of time in the position. Obviously you would want somebody that's educated in the system, but some people, it so sometimes it will be great to have the person that's educated, or it's also great to have the person that has the experience already, so you don't have to train them. So that's also a great thing too. Like if I get somebody like I have X amount of time in and I know everything that goes into it, like all I have to do is train them on what we would want them as an ideal candidate, instead of I don't need to train you in everything that I have to do for Outlook, Excel, whatever. It like you already know those things. So it's great.
Yeah, there's definitely. Oh, so this might be a good place to talk about the difference between like hard skills and soft skills. So
Sure.
like for example, so I have a master's in art therapy and counseling. So by trade, I'm a therapist, mental health therapist. Um, I have a lot of colleagues who have like PhDs or doctorate degrees in the field, but they
Right.
work in academia. And so like they, got their bachelor's degree, their master's, went straight into their doctorate, got their doctorate degree, and then like became like professors and have never once like worked as like a clinician in like community mental health. But they have like a
Right.
doctorate and like they're like considered like a doctorate level clinician, but they have no real world experience in community
Right.
mental health. And so like
And they're getting paid for that doctorate degree.
yeah,
So
and so it's
like,
a
they're
very
getting that
like
doctorate bonus.
on
Right.
paper they look right like they have this hard skill that's listed that's really like
Right.
people value, but they don't have the experience of like what it takes to work in community mental health, for example. So what are hard
Right.
skills? What are soft skills? What's important? What's not?
So hard skills and soft skills are both important. Hard skills are let's say you have a foreign language, you have a degree, you have um, certificates, anything that pertains to the amount of knowledge that you pertain through school. That's all hard skills. Even you excel at Excel. You're exponentially well with Outlook. So these are all things that are all hard skills. Soft skills are team building. You know how to mentor. You know how to what else? Hang on, I have it all written down here.
Yeah, I need notes too. Well, I feel like and soft skills are like
Oh,
what?
problem solving, time management, organization, communication, and collaboration. Those are like top 5 soft skills.
Okay. Can you say them again one more time?
Yeah, sure. So it's problem solving,
Okay.
time management, organization, communication, and collaboration. So team building, teamwork, communication, making sure you know how to communicate well and make sure you can not only receive a message but also give a message. Organization, make sure again you work well with the team. Time management, please God show up on time and and know how to manage your time within the projects that are there. And problem solving, if you're given a ton of problems, tell them like, hey, like it's okay to tell your boss no. It's perfectly fine. Or like, can I do X, Y, and Z? And then they'll be like, sure. But that goes down to communication. So yeah.
Mhm. I feel like the soft skills you've listed are like the ones that maybe you may talk with your clients at the VSO place a lot, right? So like Pacifist War Vet said in chat that they tell you like military tells you you're going to get all these useful skills, but then you feel like they're not useful for anything outside
Right.
of the defense industry. But you kind of help people like figure out like here's this thing you learned while you were in the military or while you were volunteering in high school, whatever it is,
Right.
to
Absolutely.
translate it
And
into.
all those are transferable. You just have to figure out the language behind it. So let's say you were an E5, like automatically you have a team underneath you. So you know teamwork, you know how to take care of other team members. So like you already know these things. So and then that's transferable to civilian. It's kind of hard to transfer military talk to civilian talk sometimes, but like there is websites too where that they show like, okay, like here's what you did and here's what's transferable. So like there's what was the website? I had it here. One's the livecareer.com.
Okay.
And you could go to that and it will translate your military skills into civilian skills.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna pull it up on that. So, this is something that like you use with veterans, or it's very commonly used.
It's very common. Yeah, it's a common thing. It's like number one on the search for how do I translate military skills to civilian skills.
So how?
Oh, it's LIVE. Yeah.
What is it?
Live career.
Oh, livecareer.com,
Yeah. Mm.
not life career. I was like,
Yeah.
I went to the page and I was like, that doesn't look
Yeah.
very.
Yeah, LIVE career.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that looks way more professional. Um, what if you don't have like what if you don't have any of those like hard skills, right? Like a degree or a certificate or like I feel like even some of the I feel like being in the military, like I feel like some of those things like are perceived as hard skills like to
Oh,
employers,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
But like what if you
they
didn't
are.
join the
Yeah.
military because we don't want people to join the military. And what
Right.
if like you didn't go to college or something? Like how do you what's a good
Even
way to
volunteer experience
market yourself?
transfers well.
Volunteer?
So like, yeah, like volunteer experience, like wherever you volunteer, that transfers into skills as well. So let's say you just you volunteer at your local shelter, and that all translates into skills that you've learned at like volunteering. So it's perfectly fine to be like, oh, like I have no skills, but like, it's not true. You like if you volunteer for so much stuff and it's like I just volunteer is out of my free will, like yeah, but those skills that you learn volunteering can transfer into a resume. So
Um, could you give like an example of like like a soft skill that like let's say a high schooler may have developed just by being like a student or being an athlete or being, something that they could like what's a good way they could market themselves like in a job interview, like as a
sure,
soft
like if
skill.
you're in like let's say like with you where you were in clubs and team sports and everything else, those all translate into soft skills that you learn for you know teamwork, you know how to generate skills from being in a club where you're organizing, you're doing things like that. So these are all things that you know already as a high school student coming into the career field. Like these are all things that I've learned. Even even like high school and college students, you have projects that you do with other students. So like the teacher always has like a group project that you do. So you can transfer that group project into a skill that you've learned. So
Okay.
like, oh, I've learned how to do a group project, and the group project gave me the skill that I have. Like I know how to be a better leader because of this group project that I did.
Yeah. So I could be like, yeah, I played on all these like varsity sports teams, and even though like my school's team wasn't like, top performers, like I
Right.
learned how to be like how to work as a team and how to deal with obstacles like failure, and things like that. And I could say those
Correct. Like
kinds of
you
things
always learn like,
in an
yeah,
interview. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, like these are all things that you can say like because but even during an interview process, we're not trying to do like got you questions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like when we ask like, what is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? We're not trying to be like, oh yeah, like you suck because you have a weakness. We're trying to figure out like how can you overcome your weakness and adverse it from that. So like, what is your greatest weakness? My greatest weakness is that um, I care too much. I don't know, but it is still like that. How, and then you go into like, here's how I'm trying to fix this,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just like, oh, it's this, and you don't
Oh
give them
yeah.
a reason how you're going to fix it. They're going to be like, well, you haven't even fixed your problem yet. So, or like, here's my greatest strength, and here's how I could utilize it in your company. So
Yeah,
these are all
so
things.
it seems like it would be helpful to know a little bit, right? Like about the company before you go into the interview so that you could be like, this is like my weakness, but here's how I can see this company helping me grow in this
Yeah,
thing. So you have to do
exactly.
some research, it seems like, right?
100% always research the company that you're applying for. Um, and it's okay. Like most companies are very open to, on their website, that you don't have to search much. Like
Mm-hmm.
even the charitable organizations that they give to, they have to be listed. Um, so even if you don't feel morally aligned with them, and that's probably not a job that you want to go to, because it's not, somewhere you want to be. But that these are all things that you yourself have to figure out. But I'm more than willing to help out with job skills or interview skills, because it's always fun to help out people. So yeah.
Are there
Feel free
other
to-
resources for people to look at besides live career? Like, do you have other recommendations or things people should do to like prepare for an interview or things like that?
yeah, prepping for an interview is always fun to do, because one, you have to look good, even if you're online.
Yeah, so do
So
you have to like our clothes like that was one of the questions I said in on our chat. Like
yeah.
are clothes really that important like in an interview? Like
um
how serious is it to like
yes and no. Like if you're completely disheveled, yeah, that's something that, like, but if it's not like completely important, just don't show up in like jeans and a t-shirt,
Okay.
like, because that just shows you have like no care. But you don't have to go in like a full suit either, depending on the job that you're going to. So if you just show up in like a nice button up and pants, cool, whatever, it's fine. But it all depends on what job you're going for too.
Yeah.
So if you're going for an executive job, yeah, dress to the nines. If you're going just for a bartender job, like that's the job that you're wanting. So like just have a nice button up
Or like
shirt
an
and
art
pants.
director job, I'm sure like
Yeah,
right,
like
like
it all
they want
depends
to
on.
see some funkiness probably. Like
Oh,
right?
I'm sure they want to have like pizzazz and color and stuff like that. Absolutely. So these are all things like, just know your audience, I guess you can say. So going into an interview. So
So, what are some other things that people should do to prep for an interview besides looking at the company's website and having a good rest and trying to be calm, making sure you
yeah.
eat breakfast, whatever the things are, so that you're less stressed? What are some other things people can do?
Um Prepare yourself for like weird questions, not necessarily weird questions, but these are all questions that you're going to be asked. Like the number one question you're going to be asked, guaranteed, is why did you apply for here? Like, what made you apply for our company? Like, what stand it out to you? Um, like somewhere in that realm. Another one is, what's your greatest strength? What's your greatest weakness? And kind of know like how to prepare for that question, because sometimes it throws you off. Um, and then there's other ones where, and then have questions to ask the interviewer.
Okay.
So you have your questions that, what's the daily like, what's the daily routine going to be like, what are you looking for as far as a candidate, what um, let's see, what else, like what is the rate to becoming, what's the rate of advancement, these are all things that you want to know, because like you don't want to start off low ball and then come in and be like, damn, I'm never going to become management because I'm going to be always be passed over. So these are
Yeah.
all things that you.
Is there a do you have like Live Career? Are there any like websites or resources that have like lists of like typical questions that like people ask? Is that like something we could Google if people wanted to? Like what are my interviewers
Yeah,
gonna
like
ask
what
me?
is it? Glassdoor is pretty good.
Okay.
Indeed's pretty good with interview prep. Um, and then you could always ask me.
Yeah, so if you're not in the Discord already, you can join the Discord because that's Lou Dog's in there. And we also have a mentorship program. Um, Let me see if this is the right command. Yeah, so you could at a mentor and they could help answer questions like this or other things related to
Yeah.
this. Um, did you know these things before you joined the military?
No.
Like about how to apply for jobs or like hard and soft skills and things like that?
These are all things I've learned off of my own ignorance, I guess.
Oh,
So,
okay.
probably past failures, and you just turn them into successes. So, these are all things like, soft skills and hard skills that you learn. And then, like, once you fall flat on your face, you'll figure out, like, oh, I probably shouldn't fall anymore. So, yeah. So these are all things I learned on my own. But there is, thankfully, I'm in school, so I could learn more things. But um, yeah, like I pretty much learned all the things that I have knowledge of, anyways. But I didn't learn them from the military. I didn't learn them from from anywhere else. But I've learned them from past failures, anyways.
Yeah, so just like personal experience and like life.
Yeah, life experiences for sure.
Are there things that you know now that, like, let's say, had you known, you know, before you were 21, maybe would have prevented you from joining the military
I don't know. I don't think
in
so.
terms of jobs?
Only because of the military experience that was inside my house, it was almost inevitable that I was going to join the military. So it was just like, you're gonna go. And then um and then my father was a junior, and then my grandfather was senior. So it was only like, oh well, they did it, so why not I? So uh, but I at that point I didn't really realize it. But yeah, it was always like military culture was always in my house. So
Yeah.
um
It's so interesting. My family was a very big military family also. My mom was one of 14 kids, and all of her brothers and a few of her sisters joined the military, and it's at the time of right before Vietnam. So all of my uncles had gone to Vietnam. So my experience is with like the aftermath of all of that and a poor family full of Vietnam veterans. It did not glorify the military for me. It didn't make it look like something that would help me in any way because the people around me were suffering so much
yeah.
that it was like a good deterrent for not going down that path for myself and my brothers. We were like, nah, that doesn't seem like a good option for us.
Yeah, it's crazy because like even my brothers and well, like the majority of my brothers and myself all joined the military.
Mm.
And then my dad was a Vietnam vet, and then my grandpa was a World War II vet. So it was always, one of those transitions. Like, yeah, we're poor, but we always had the military to fall back on. But I mean, I saw my dad struggle because he was exposed to Agent Orange. So
Mm.
he had those struggles, as well as um, trying to um, get his all of his benefits because he was exposed to Agent Orange. So they didn't even acknowledge it for the longest time until like just before he passed away, and then like finally he got all of the benefits that he deserved. So it was a
Yeah.
nice payday. So
Yeah, but still the amount of stuff you have to go through and put yourself through. You have to be exposed to Agent Orange just to get benefits in certain cases,
Yeah,
right?
like
Like that's
that shouldn't have to be the case.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like definitely like job skills um are helpful. Um, but there are still like unfortunately we're gonna in this whole in these segments we're gonna be talking about a lot of the other things because just getting a job isn't enough for a lot of people, right? Like there's still issues related to like healthcare and other community resources. So hopefully we're gonna have guests on to kind of like talk about like those kinds of things too because
Yeah,
kind of
thankfully my
need
state
them
is
all.
is doing AB 1400, which is nice,
What does that mean?
which will so AB 1400 is going to be for California. We're going to have universal health care in California for all Californians.
Oh
Doesn't
wow.
matter your immigration status or anything. So hopefully that passes.
Yeah,
So that'll be good for healthcare.
that's
Um,
awesome.
and yeah, hopefully we'll have free college soon and so on and so forth. But thankfully California is like the 5th largest economy in the world, so we're okay doing this stuff. But yeah, like other states aren't. So
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Um, Lots of good things I think coming out of California legislation, right?
some good, some bad. I mean, there is bad things that come out. Like I'll admit it. There's some bad things that come out, but there's a lot more good things. We do have ridiculous amount of taxes that we have no idea where our tax money goes to. But
Hmm.
yeah, then we have really high cost of living.
Yeah.
So, but we do have wonderful weather, and yeah,
I guess like I could definitely use some of that weather right now. It's
yeah,
pretty
like it's
depressing on the East Coast.
it's like a gloomy 72, but I'm all right.
It's
It's
like
nice.
25 degrees here and like overcast and like my house is not very well insulated, so I'm like wearing like 3 layers all the time.
Oh no.
It's
Uh,
bad. Well, because heating is expensive. So,
yes, it is.
are there other like hot takes or takeaways about hard skills, soft skills, or interviewing that we should let have it set up that it continues to record. So,
Oh, well, that's fun.
yeah. Um so to be honest, like I don't do a lot of prepping for interviews. And so Uh, I don't do a lot of. I never was like one who like prepped for like tests either, like in school. Like I was always like
Yeah.
kind of like I
I
was like
always wing it
really good
too.
at that. I already like I would look at the website or whatever and kind of like know the people I was going to be talking to. But like I always if I prepped too much or if I studied too much, I would like psych myself out. Um,
Um,
so I think it's helpful to kind of like know what you're good at too, right? So like
yeah.
sometimes prepping too much just does the opposite, right? Like is
Yeah, like I had that problem too, even with exams. Like if I prep too much, I'm gonna fail. I just need to know what's in it. Like, okay, cool, I'm good. But
yeah.
if I prep way too much, like it's gonna already psych me out and like, yep, no, can't do it. But
Yeah, so
yeah, it all depends on the person. But I think like knowing the company that you work for or knowing the company that you're going to work for or applying for is good, and knowing their values, and then that way you could go in and be like, okay, like does it align with my values, because you want to be
Yeah, I was
And
just
at least people would like you, and like they don't have to like you, but they do have to respect you as an employee, you know. Like, thank you so much for being an employee and helping our revenue go up. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's really important. I remember a couple of jobs ago, I was interviewing, and the CEO of the company was in the interview. So it was like a group interview. Those are always so stressful, right? Like it's
They
you
really are. It's
and
like a
like
firing
four
squad.
people.
Yeah.
Like, can we just do one on one? Or like if it's gonna be like that, can it be like a group interview instead of just anyway? So the CEO was in the meeting, and he asked me, like in the middle of the interview, he was like, "Wait, wait, wait. Do you have like a nickname or something I could call you? Like your name's really hard to say." And I was just like, that should have been a red flag at the time.
That's red flag right there. Like, nah, no.
But it wasn't enough of a deterrent for me, and I worked there for a couple of years before totally burning out and leaving that job and
Yeah.
feeling really underappreciated, which I should have known in the
Right.
beginning because the CEO didn't even want to learn how to pronounce my name. um, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's important. Like, if the CEO doesn't acknowledge his employees, like the employees will never want to acknowledge him or want to work hard for them. So I think it works both ways. So the employee, like, there's a lot of leadership that sees that, like, oh, you're just somebody that works for me, and then like in other ways, there's other leadership out there, but like, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you, and that'll at least be like, okay, that gives you enough um, recognition to be like, okay, like, you know who I am. Here's what I do, and that gives you encouragement to do more. And like, I think those are the companies that always strive better to be like, okay, like, you have better employees because you're appreciating them in comparison to undermining them, and hopefully they'll make it to the top one day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I am feeling hopeful right now. I was just listening to a bit on NPR, like, because they've been talking about the Great Resignation, right? And
Yeah.
NPR was like they were like talking about a new word. I think they were using something like the Great like reorganization or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that like people don't want to work. It's just that we want to work in like ethical, like equitable environments. And
Right.
so like people are holding their employers accountable, I think, which is awesome. And I think it's going to be helpful in the long run.
What was it called? I just oh it, I read it as the Great Reshuffle.
Oh, the great reshuffle. What are they saying in your HR program about like what's happening right now in the job market?
It's just like it. So 44.5 million workers quit their jobs, a new record according to, statistics.
Mhm.
But these are all great things for HR because, one, I think, especially with human resources, is that we always have to like be adaptable. So with COVID and with everything else, we have to know like what all of the protocols are and so on and so forth. So even with that in mind, like, this is great for recruiters, and especially like we have a new batch of people that we could pick from, and like these are all people that we could bring in and train and and make better. So hopefully that gives inspiration to the top corporations that give zero shits about their
Mhm.
company or their employees, and it shows them like, hey, like, we really need to do better at making employers feel appreciated or employees feel appreciated and giving better wages. So
Do you think it's making um, employers or hiring managers like think more creatively about like what they are looking for in employees now, right? Like so I think like it used to be like checkbox, like do you have the degree? Do you have the certificate? Like do
yeah,
you have
yeah,
now maybe like employers are like thinking like maybe those aren't just the things we need, like maybe there are other things we're looking for in
yeah.
employees.
Even right now, there, like, 5 years ago, you were able to just use one resume for every single job that you
Mhm.
apply for.
Mhm.
Like, now you have to be very very cautious about doing that. Like one resume isn't good for every
Okay.
employer. So like you have to look at um, even on what they're looking for and look at it like, okay, these are all things that are listed in my resume, so I could apply for it. Or you tweak your resume a little bit and then you apply for it. Because like I said earlier, like 80% of your resume has to fit with what they want. And then you'll get guaranteed you'll get um, a invitation for an interview. So as long as 80% of your resume aligns with the things that they want, you're guaranteed to at least get heard from.
Oh
So
man, the idea of like having multiple resumes like stresses me out. But like I know that that's like correct. I'm just like, here's one long resume with every single
I know I
thing I've
wish it
like
was back in
ever
the same way
done.
where yeah, like back in the day, like here's my resume. I'm like, awesome, this is nothing that I want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep you forever because I know you've got other exciting things to do. You're a busy person. Are there other any other like last things that maybe I didn't ask you about that you wanted to say?
No, feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Yeah.
I'm on Discord, so feel free to ask more questions if you have questions. And yeah,
Awesome. Well, thanks for being my first guest on Mentorship Monday. Hashtag not another generation.
not another
Not
generation.
another generation. No, that's the hope. If you want to, I'm gonna stick around and play some more Knockout City. You don't have to. I'm just like hanging out on stream for a little while longer. You probably have
Sure, why
important
not?
stuff to do. Okay.
I
So
really
I'm
don't.
gonna play like another round or two. Um,
Yeah, why
I
not?
think I need to re-invite you, because our game timed out. Um,
Yeah, I
but
think my controller stopped. So,
so thank you all for listening to Lou's interview. I know. Interviewing. I'm interviewing you about interviewing. It's so
yeah,
meta.
I'm never like the best interviewer.
Interviewee.
Yeah,
Oh,
like yeah, interviewee. I don't like doing because I'm not good with public speak. But interviewing, like I love it. But yeah, it's just yeah,
you
I
like
don't know. It's
interviewing
weird.
people?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
I like it too. So I used to be um hold on, I'm just transitioning to my game now. I used to like be a director of my department when I worked at a hospital. And so like
oh yeah,
I've had to look at resumes and interview people and things like that. And I actually do really enjoy um interviewing people. Um I like learning about like all of the different kinds of therapists there are, like people who have different perspectives than me, and that's really exciting.
those
Um,
are always fun to see like different styles and like oh okay, I didn't know you could do that. Maybe
yeah.
I'll try.
Um, sent you an invite, I think. Um, yeah. So I am an art therapist as like my first master's, and my department had music therapists and dance movement therapists and recreational therapists. So like I was their supervisor, which was super cool because I got to learn a lot about like all those different kinds of therapeutic modalities.
Interesting. Huh.
Did you accept my invite?
I didn't get it yet.
No?
No, no.
Oh. I clicked invite Lou Dog.
Oh, maybe it's over here. Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Got it.
Okay. Yep.
All right, cool. And then I'll turn music so we can hear the game music. running, doing all of this stuff has been fun and interesting.
Yeah, you did really well.
Thanks. All right, so we can play. No respawns means no. We'll just do regular play. Did you play the superhero mode when it was here?
I think so, yeah.
I loved that mode. That was
Oh,
fun.
when they gave you like different superpowers, yeah.
Look, look hovercraft. I'm over top of you. I'm hovering.
Oh yeah. Huh. Well, you hit me. Awesome.
Oh no.
That's fine.
So the cool thing about these hovercrafts, if you hover over a ball, it like beams it up to you.
Skips it up, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like an alien spaceship. Thanks, Jules, for joining us. Jules was in the chat. She said, "Good job."
Thanks, Jules.
Oh, I think I have the game.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
soda ball.
Soda ball.
I hate this one.
That one's like the worst one.
Wait, is our thing a spaceship? I didn't realize we came in on a spaceship.
I think so. Yeah.
What else you got going on today?
Today?
Work?
Nah, we're supposed to be cleaning the house, but I'm trying to prolong that as much as possible.
Ah,
Dang it.
I have so many like half-finished house projects. Ah,
Oh, nice.
ah. Oh, I know. The announcer, he's always so mean. We're
The announcer's
falling
such a
way
jerk.
behind.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. Thank you.
Like, you are getting your asses whooped.
You suck. Try harder. Oh, Smedley's joining us in chat. Smedley, I haven't talked to you in so long.
Oh, Smedley, hey.
Smedley, if you can hear us, you should join our RPG Tabletop Tuesdays. You can be one of the players in RPG. Have you ever played any RPG games, Lou? Like D&D or anything like that?
No, I never. I've been intrigued in D&D, but I've never really like understood it. So.
Yeah. It's I just played my first two RPG games that they weren't D&D. I feel like D&D is like a whole thing.
Right.
But like there are uh like entry level games and Rep is a good game master. So I've played a few and I'm excited. It's kind of like improv and doing theater at the same time, but I am terrible at both of those. But it's fun when you're with like a fun group of people.
Yeah. Maybe I'll join it one day. Hey, we didn't do that bad.
Oh no, Smedley, you were in a car accident. I hope you're okay.
Oh.
Smedley said that he was in a car accident. So.
Awful.
Car accidents are so scary.
Really are.
Um, since working from home and being in a pandemic, oh,
Oh, dang
we
it.
were able to get our insurance company to reduce our premium since like I never drive. I was like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're
I was
not
like,
going to and fro anymore.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't go anywhere. Can you charge me less? And they were like, yeah, okay. It was like really surprising.
That's always nice.
Oh no, I've been sodaed.
Oh, sorry.
Was it you?
I threw it, but I threw it at somebody that was right by you. But yeah,
Oh,
collateral damage. Sorry.
collateral damage. I hear it. Oh,
uh,
get him. Oh, sorry. I got hit.
ah, dang it.
Oh, man. Is COVID bad up there, Smedley, where you are? How is it where you are, Lou? Like how are things?
Los Angeles County has a lot of cases,
Yeah,
but like it's not too bad. Like most of Los Angeles County is vaccinated, which is great.
that is
So
good.
yeah,
I don't
it's not too awful.
It's pretty stressful. I'm very glad that I am not like, oh, boo.
Yeah, I just got
Working.
my third vaccine too, which is good.
Oh, good. Yeah. I got mine last month, I think. I'm I didn't have any like side effects or anything from any of the vaccines. I know like people were like
Really,
tired or like had like a
I was
cold.
exhausted.
Yeah, I didn't really have any symptoms. Fine. How about one more?
Yeah, why
All
not?
right. Cool. It's completely dark here now. Like it's just straight up nighttime and it's only
Oh,
like 5 o'clock. I hate it. I hate it so much.
it's only 2:30. It's fine.
Back in October I went to Salem for Halloween, and while I was there I had my palms read, and that was like the first time I've ever had anything like that done, and the psychic told me that she sees me somewhere warm and like islandy and tropical and like doesn't understand why I'm in the Northeast. And I was like, I've been in the Northeast my whole life. I wonder like what she's seeing in like my psychic energy that makes her think that. But it's probably just that I hate the
Past
cold.
life.
Yeah, maybe like that. Like I feel like in a past life I was like born somewhere near the equator, because this is just awful. It feels like it goes on forever. The winter.
I'm glad I do not have to deal with snow. Like that's one thing that I'm just no. Mm-mm.
Have you been on the West Coast your whole life?
No, no. Like I was actually born in Illinois, so
Oh, okay.
but yeah. So I know the cold. I just don't like it.
Yeah. Well, luckily you don't have to deal with it.
If I want to see snow, I could just go outside and look at the mountain.
Yeah, that's what I love about like the West Coast mountains is like you can be in the same day, you can like be on the beach like tanning
Yeah.
and surfing, and then like later that day you can like go skiing in the mountains.
Or if you want to go to the desert, you could go to the desert. If you want to
Yeah.
go to the forest, you can go to the forest. We got everything here.
Yeah. It's so cool. We've
It's
just
probably why
got
every state hates us.
we've got everything. Yeah, we've just got farmland and like wooded areas, which I like. I definitely like the green and the trees and stuff, but could do without the cold.
Yeah. I got even when I lived in North Carolina, I loved the greenery and stuff. It was just yeah, it wasn't Los Angeles. So
Yeah.
like I really have a love-hate relationship with this place. So
Mhm. I have never been to California.
really,
Yeah.
oh, you got to.
The farthest west I've been is Las Vegas, and I don't think that counts.
No,
It-
that's like it's so funny. Like they'll call themselves the West Coast, and I'm like, no, no,
nope.
no, no. You're not the
You're
West
you're
Coast.
like your own little entity, separate from
Yeah.
everything else.
Like even like Idaho tries to call themselves the West Coast state, and I'm
Ooh.
like, no, 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 no.
No, like you have to like you're not on the coast.
Right. Like if you're not California, Washington, or Oregon, you're not a West Coast state. Sorry.
um oh.
Oh, oops.
We lost
That
0-10.
was my fault.
Jimmy. No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh well. We're practice.
um I like I just think this game is hilarious. Like I don't mind losing. I don't know why I find it really funny.
It's very humorous.
Um Other people who play with me don't find it funny.
No.
Pacifist Warvet says at least we're not in Texas.
Yeah, true.
True. True. Very true. But I had Ben and I were strongly considering moving to California last wow, I guess it's like almost 2 years ago at this point since we've been in quarantine for 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we had real estate agent out there and everything. Um we were getting ready to move out there. But then, pandemic and
Right.
work out. But maybe we'll end up somewhere warmer sometime soon.
Yeah, California's good. I don't mind California. Just the cost of living sucks.
No. Rough. Ah. Oh no, I'm in a cage. Get me. Oh, thank.
Yeah. Oh
Little Jimmy. Got you.
no.
Get out of here, little Jimmy. Give me that ball. I keep taking taking their ball. But I keep missing. Oh god, that was awful. It's okay. It's all right. Um okay, what time is it? Oh, it's 5:30. I do have to get going, I think. I have a 6 o'clock meeting,
Oh
which is what, 3? It's almost 3 there. It's 2:30 where
yeah,
you are?
3 o'clock. Yeah, 2:30 right now.
Cool. I mean, I could keep playing, but I really shouldn't.
Or no.
Okay. Um, well, how are you doing? What are you up to?
Yeah, man, I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
I go back to school on the 24th, so that's good. And
nice.
yeah, I have nothing to do until then. So,
Okay. Um,
yeah.
well, I think I'm gonna end it here because I gotta go do stuff. I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
Like
You
what?
know,
Like why do I have to do stuff?
adulting
Doing stuff
sucks.
is so dumb. Well, I'm bringing you back on screen so you could say bye. Um, Thank you
Of
again
course.
for joining us.
Well,
today.
thank you.
And you're more than welcome to like if you ever want to come on to like one of the other discussions to like hang out and play games and like, ask questions too. You're more than welcome to. We're gonna have
Absolutely.
people
Sounds wonderful.
on to talk about college applications, financial aid. I'm hoping to get some people in to talk about like community resources and mutual aid and things like that, like just other things that are not capitalism. Like for other options.
Yes.
Um, Hopefully we can get some of those people on as well.
Yeah, there's
So
tons of resources. They're just one of those things that you have to look for on your own, which kind of sucks for our society, but that's what we
yeah,
have to do.
you don't have to do it on your own. You can join the Discord and at a mentor, and we'll help you try to find the things in your area. I mean, I kind of do that for a living locally, so I can help people.
Right.
Um, so
Right.
I am going to. Oh, okay. I guess maybe I should do that thing where I like plug the rest of the week. So this is the first week of all of our new content. So tomorrow we're resuming Tabletop Tuesday, but we're doing a different style instead of one long campaign throughout the season. We're doing a bunch of like little one-off things. So like instead of a whole D&D campaign for 10 weeks, like next week, Rep is doing a Kids on Bikes kind of like Stranger Things RPG. So I'm going to be playing in that.
Interesting.
And then we've got like Solar Punk and Cyberpunk games coming up this season. Wednesday is Pacifist War Vet's new show, Right Side Ride, I think it's called, and she's going to be she has a panel of um, newer vets and post nine or older vets and post 9/11 vets, and they're going to be right seat ride. That's what I said, right? Okay. Um, they're going to kind of be like sharing their stories and talking together, so that's cool. And then
Nice.
Thursdays, I think we're still doing community game night, which is fun. If you like to play Jackbox and Among Us, join us. And then Fridays, we're back again with Ad Slam with Plantifa doing some awesome cool things. And so we've got a full week again. We're back.
Woo.
Um, and and thanks for being the first guest on my show.
Thank
um,
you for inviting me.
and peace out, everybody. I'm gonna do the thing. Wait, I'm doing the thing. Doing the thing. Oh,